Are you a mystic? Do you seek and sometimes find a direct experience with God? Are you a hermit? Do you thrive in solitude? Are you told you need more friends or you need to get out more? Have you had professionals tell you that humans are social creatures? And when you hear that, is it just not helpful at all? If so, my channel is definitely for you. My name is Elizabeth Cermak. I'm a psychotherapist turned coach here to talk about bringing inner peace into this world. And my channel is for empaths, INFJs, frequency holders, highly sensitive souls who want to find more peace. I took December off of YouTube and I did a lot of reflection in December, and I actually started a Substack again. I hadn't written a Substack for like 2 years. So I'll put the link below to the first one that I've written in 2 years, it was interesting to write. And I did some reflecting in December, and just with that Substack, I felt the need to write again, and I did some reflection about these identities. So 2025 was a 9-year. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but in numerology if you add up those numbers in numerology, it comes up with a 9, which means it was a year of endings. So if you had a lot of endings in 2025, and I feel like leading up to 2025, I actually had a lot of endings. It made me realize for the past 2 years, I've been going through sort of an identity shift. And a lot of this has involved boundaries. So I feel like when I reflect on even on my videos that I did in 2025 for YouTube, I talked a lot about inner peace. I talked about highly sensitive nervous systems. I talked about being an empath, being a frequency holder, being an INFJ. I talked about all of these things. And I talk about inner peace and A Course in Miracles. And something that I realized that maybe I didn't emphasize enough, and I will be emphasizing it in the future, is boundaries, because A Course in Miracles assumes we already have boundaries. And as highly sensitive people, when we read a lot of spiritual texts, we can really misinterpret them to seem that we don't need any boundaries. I feel I'm not going to talk about that too much in this video today, but that is what I'm going to be talking about moving forward. I believe that as empaths, we come into this world knowing we are all one. We already know that intuitively. We need to be told that we need boundaries. We need edges, right? So I feel like for me, 2025 was really a year, and even leading up to 2025 was really a year of boundaries. And 2026, beginning of 2026 was like an initiation for me with a severe boundary violation, honestly. The good news is, so 2026, when you add the numbers in 2026, it comes to a 1 in numerology, which is new beginnings. So this is the year to claim a new identity. This is a year for new beginnings. And I shouldn't even say claim it, because we don't have to claim it. I'm not into New Year's resolutions anymore. I love the new year, but the new year, the winter is really for rest. It's for decluttering. It's for making space. And so I'm trying to I'm going into this new year very gently and realizing, kind of doing a lot of reflecting and realizing the main thing that came up, like I said, is boundaries. And like I said, I might not have emphasized it as much in my videos. I know I've been talking about boundaries all through last year. I'm sure I was talking about boundaries. I wasn't emphasizing it as much. I might have mentioned it. I wasn't talking about details or anything like that, because I was still integrating it. And I'm still integrating it. So, but like I said, I will be talking about that more. I've also gotten more into this hermit and mystic archetype. I have realized that this world of influencer, even the spiritual influencer, I feel like I've had to go through kind of a grieving process. I feel like I have been fooled by, I guess I just feel like in ways I have been led down a road or a path that isn't for me. And at heart, like I said, I've gotten more into this mystic and hermit archetype. And so at heart, this is me. I'm more of a mystic. I'm more of a hermit. I'm more of a frequency holder. I'm not an influencer. I'm a frequency holder. And what's interesting is the world doesn't know what to do with that, right? Because this world tells us that we're supposed to expand. Expansion was never really what I ever wanted. Okay. But I was kind of made to believe that in a way. And I'm not blaming anyone. It's me, I mean, it's all me, right? So I'm not blaming anyone, but I'm just this has just been such kind of a freeing thing. I've kind of the words mystic or hermit. I'm am I ashamed to use those words, or am I proud to use those words? I wrote in my Substack that it kind of evens out. It's neutral, because the shame and the being ashamed or being being proud kind of evens out with it. But anyway, it's just the truth. It's just who I am. And so as empaths, you know, as INFJs, as frequency holders, however you identify yourself, the world doesn't know what to do with us. And a lot of other people's and even professionals in this world, we live in an extroverted world, right? So even it's in all of our systems, even our psychology system, you'll have therapists who will say humans are social creatures. That's the wrong thing to say to somebody with that type of archetype, right? So because again, the world doesn't know what to do with us. What would an influencer, how would an influencer even know what to do with us? You know, we don't want to be influenced. And nothing against influencers at all or anything like that. I'm just saying it's a realization that I have come to where it's like, oh my gosh, I am not here to say, like, to me, an influencer, even a fashion influencer, like there's one that I follow who I really like, and she like puts her mom, she'll dress her mom in the clothes that she wears, right? And I'm like, well, her mom doesn't really look the same. She doesn't look as good in the clothes as because it's not her mom's clothes, right? An influencer tells you what to do. An influencer says, I know what's right for you in a way, right? That is not me. I mean, I even had a manifesting coach imply that I should manifest a different nervous system. I mean, not in those exact words, but kind of like manifest more extroversion, because I can act super extroverted, right? Manifest, it was implied not to manifest less sensitivities. Don't you think that I would have done that if I could? Don't you think I mean, that wasn't how I was meant to be. That wasn't how God made me. I am the way that I am for a reason, and rejection equals protection in those circumstances. Like, I wasn't made to go down that road. I was meant for a quiet, pretty, highly attuned life with my dogs and my husband. That's what I was meant for. And that is really satisfying for me. Is it safe to be satisfied with that? That's a question that I have asked myself numerous times. One thing that, you know, I've done a lot of soul searching, I feel, in the past month, in the past couple of years, but in the past month with my time off YouTube too. And I think the thing that I know has been consistent throughout everything, you know, as highly sensitive people, at least my experience as a highly sensitive person is like, other people tend to easily like come in and try to tell me how to live my life if I don't have the appropriate boundaries up. Because we are so open, I think it can be like people who are predatory will come to us first, you know? And so this is why I'm saying boundaries are so important, and also that A Course in Miracles and a lot of spiritual teachings will assume that you already have boundaries. I don't know a lot of Course in Miracles teachers who talk about it in this way. Okay, so going forward, like I said, the things that I have found that are consistent is that I do thrive in solitude. When I moved, this was before I met my husband, when I moved into my own place, I'd moved back home with my parents when I did my internship to become a psychotherapist, because it was like a full-time thing and you didn't get paid. And so once that was done and I got a job and I got my own place for 2 weeks, I was working in a school as a school counselor, and it was summertime, so I was off work. And I had I had just bought a condo, and I had it completely to myself for 2 weeks. I was completely alone. And for some reason, I had no cable, I had no TV, nothing. And I had these Sonia Choquette books that I would read. And I had like DVDs of like comedy shows that I'd play at night, and that was it. And it was quiet. And I just remember this as one of the best times. I was so happy in my solitude. I just felt so alive. Like, that just really told me something about myself, you know? I will always remember it. So as empaths, I like to call it the mystic hermit, but as empaths, as highly sensitive people, whatever it is, it's not that we don't like people. It can feel like we don't like people if we don't have our edges, if we don't have our boundaries. So it's not that we don't like people. It's just that we need time alone. It's just that is our soul food, is solitude. So we need time alone, and we need containment. We need edges. Okay, and I'm going to be talking more about that in the videos to come. So I'm excited to continue this into 2026. I think it's going to be a different kind of year, but we are going to continue. I still will continue talking about inner peace and bringing the vertical into this world. That message hasn't changed. We'll talk about Course in Miracles, spirituality. None of that has changed, but I am going to add the boundaries piece and making that first. Boundaries first for sensitive people. Spiritual teachings assume we already have boundaries. Okay, so I hope this was helpful today, just kind of like reintroducing myself a little bit into the new year. This is Star behind me. I have Star and Prudence, my two chihuahuas, who are here with us. So I can't wait to keep going this year. And peace and love. We'll see you next. Oh, so we're going to do once a week videos this year. My goal is once a week for YouTube, and then also doing a Substack every week too, that to kind of go along with that video. So I'll put my Substack below and I'll see you there. And peace and love. Talk to you soon.